All right. Good evening, everyone. My name is Barbara McCain. I am your MC, your host for this evening. And I want to say welcome to our ABC&H Aloe Vera Juice by Monthly Zoom session. Just a couple of things as a reminder. Just wanted to let you all know that this session is being recorded. And the information that we're sharing tonight is for your educational purpose only and is not intended to replace any type of medical advice that you get from your healthcare professionals or providers. With that being said, we're going to open up with an inspiration. And the person that's going to be doing that is one of our teammates, and her name is Donna. So, Donna, will you lead us in a prayer or provide inspirational words for us, please?
Okay. My inspiration.
Or is
Okay.
it? Hold on. Wait a minute. Is it Donna or is it Alice?
Mm-hmm.
Is it you, Alice?
Yes.
My apologies, team.
Oh, that's okay.
It is Alice, and Donna, you should have diverted it over to Alice.
Donna, I like your spirit. She was ready.
I know.
That's great. I like that.
Be ye ready, right?
Yes.
All right.
Good evening.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to thank all of you for being here with us this evening. I'm going to read something that's dear to my heart that give me much comfort, and I've used it often. The Psalm 23rd, a Psalm of David. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside the still waters. He restored my soul. He guided me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, my cup overflows. Surely goodness and love will follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Amen. Thank you.
All right. Amen. Thank you, Alice, for that beautiful scripture. And moving on, just wanted to give you a little overview in the schedule. Now, we do meet every other month. And I know when we started this, we were meeting monthly, and then we started changing quarterly, and we thought that based on participation, that we would go ahead and do this every other month. And the more people we get, maybe we'll go back into our monthly session. But the duration of these meetings are planned to last at least 1 hour. And just to let you all know, the next meeting will be next year, which is January the 10th, 2025. And a reminder will be sent out via email. Just a couple of rules of protocol. For those who are participating in the Zoom session, we ask that you use your reaction button, and that's down at the bottom or maybe at your top to raise your hand, or you can type a question in the chat box. And again, we have a team here that will monitor the box and make sure your question or your hand being raised will be recognized. For those of you that are on the phone that are participating via telephone, if you #9, that will let us see that you have a hand raised. And if you use not pound but *9, that will raise your hand and we will recognize that. And if you use 6, that right there will mute you or unmute you. So you can unmute yourself, and then if you hit *6 again, you can put yourself back into a mute state. Now, what I like to do when I'm hosting, I like everybody to kind of break the ice here. And in doing so, I like to start out by doing shout outs to let us know where you're joining from. and to kind of like break the ice, I'm going to start, and then the team members are going to start, and then we'll hope that you all will participate. Now, I'm Barbara. I am from Maryland. I'm in PG County, and I want to give a shout out to you all. It's great to be here with these beautiful people that I see on the Zoom session. And again, I hope there's something that's said that will engage you and impact you. So, hey, PG County, Maryland is in the house.
I'm
Hey,
Donna I'm DC.
Northern Virginia.
Alice, Silver Spring, Maryland, Montgomery County.
All right, y'all, let's keep this moving. We're going to do this for about 5 minutes now. I just want to know who's out there.
Kevin from the District of Columbia.
Hey, Kevin.
Hey,
Hi, Kevin. Welcome.
Welcome.
Hi, Carol. Welcome.
I'm not
Carol,
new.
Thank you.
well, we know this is the shout out moment.
Kevin, we know you're Donna's husband.
I'm just trying to break the ice so that folks can communicate and say, hey, this is a safe environment here. We love one another. We can talk to each other. There is a non-attribution, and it's just a fun place to get information. So again,
Amen.
shout it out. Shout where you're from and your
Amen.
name.
Hi, Elaine from Missionville, Maryland.
Hey,
Hi,
Elaine.
Elaine.
Hey,
Welcome.
Elaine.
You.
Hi.
Now,
Good
all-
evening, everyone. This is Peggy. I am connecting with you all from Charlotte, North Carolina, Mecklenburg County. Good to be on the line with you all tonight.
Woo, woo,
Well,
woo, woo.
welcome. It's
Peggy.
great.
North Carolina.
North Carolina.
Welcome, Peggy.
Hey, Peggy, my mother.
I'm doing great. How y'all doing?
Great. My
Good.
mother was from Charlotte, North Carolina.
I have a sister that lives in Charlotte.
Awesome. Well, we got folks from Charlotte up in the house. Good.
All
I'm
right.
loving it.
Everybody else shy. They don't want to say where they're from.
Okay, you all don't be shy. Speak up.
We got like 2 more minutes, and we're going to go into the trivial questions.
This is Will, Northern Virginia.
Welcome, Will.
Welcome,
Hey,
Will.
Will.
Hi.
Thank you.
Well,
Right,
I
Will.
will.
All right, we got Virginia in the house.
All right.
Oh,
All right, we got 1 more minute. Don't be shy. That's what Donna says. Don't be shy. we're family and we're growing. With this aloe vera juice and the topical, I mean, we are just growing. When I see the folks that come who pick up their juice, whether it's in DC at the farmers market or over in Virginia, I mean, it just amazes me that these people are definitely telling me that they're confident in what they're receiving and that it's doing something good because they're out there in droves. They come. And I know
Fantastic.
folks are asking, are there any leftovers?
That's great.
All right. All right.
oh,
Any more?
gotcha.
So, hey, again, when I'm running this session, I have a couple of trivial questions that I like to ask. And I'm going to ask 5. I don't have any gifts. I know the holidays are coming up, but this is all, again, is knowledge-based, just to let us know that you all are what? Paying attention and you're taking notes, right? So my first question to you is, can you freeze aloe vera juice? Not everybody answer at the same time.
No.
I wouldn't think so.
All right.
You can freeze it.
You can?
Yes, you can. And once I froze mine and took it on a trip with me. And when I got to where I was going, by the time I got there, it had thawed out a little bit. So I
Okay, I'm
used
gonna,
my pendulum to make sure it was still good. And
okay,
did it go around?
okay. Well, I'm gonna put a question mark in that, and
Yeah, that's something we need to. Now,
we'll let
I
Miss
didn't ask
Rebecca.
Miss Rebecca if I could do it. I did it because
Well, I just want
I didn't want, I wanted to have Aloe with me.
right, but I mean that's there are exceptions, but this is not an exception question. So I'll let Miss Rebecca when she gets on the floor kind of like expound on that. But I think that was an exception though, Alice. Well, anyway, my next question. Okay, how long can you store ABC&H aloe vera juice in the refrigerator?
Up to 12 months.
Right.
All right now.
12 months.
Somebody
12
been
months.
taking notes. Woo, that's what I'm talking about. All right. I'm gonna got another one. Can you use ABC&H aloe vera juice as a gargle to gargle with?
Yes,
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
you can
Awesome.
use the juice and the topical.
All right. Now you've
But
been
with the topical, you just make sure you spit it out. You don't swallow it.
all right. Thank you.
That is, if you have like something like an upset tooth or something,
Yes,
you
ma'am.
just take it and hold it in that area and then spit it out.
Woo.
And if you have a toothache, I'm just telling you what I've done. I don't know if if you have a toothache, you have a tooth that's been extracted, you just take it and hold it there. Just hold it. Don't swish it around or anything. You just hold it. And then you spit it out. And it will get rid of the pain.
Hmm.
All right. All right. You're an A student, Alice. I'm gonna give you an A. Okay, I got two more questions and we're gonna move right along. You all hear me use the acronym A, B, C, and H. Can someone other than Alice tell me what does A, B, C, and H stand for?
Well, anointed body cleanser and healer.
Go. Who is
All
that?
right. Who was
That's
that?
Elaine.
Hey,
All right,
Elaine.
Elaine.
all right. I just want to make sure that we are on point. Thank you, ma'am. And this, the last one, this is a bonus one. Okay, again, you all are showing me that you all take notes and you all are serious about this. What Bible verse mentions aloes planted by the Lord? Miss Rebecca says it all the time.
No.
I know I was gonna get y'all.
Uh-oh.
That's the last one too. No, I got you.
Reserve the right to answer later.
Okay, we'll bring that back up, and Miss Rebecca may, as she always says it when she's coming on, she mentions that all the time, and I thought that that would be a good one. But anyway, I wanted to say thank you all for taking the time out to have fun and to go through these trivial questions. Again, I appreciate what you all do and are going to do, and let's keep things just moving and be a strength for each other. And with that being said, we're going to move into our testimonies. What I'm asking is that our Zoom participants, you all are invited to share your personal experience or stories about your journey and how AB and CH aloe vera juice or
Hello.
has actually helped you. Yes, is someone out there? Hello? I think we lost them, but I'm pretty sure they'll come back. All right, so this is our testimony period. Does anyone have any personal experience or stories about their journey with aloe vera juice and topical that they'd like to share with us? We would be glad to hear it.
So I'm gonna share about my dog who's just turned 17, and he's blind from glaucoma. So last month, I took him to, he hadn't been to the vet in a year. So the last time I took him, his pressure was high. It was like 50 in one eye. So they wanted, to do surgery. And I heard somebody on the call say they had high pressure in their eye and went from like a 30 or something to a 10, something to that respect. Anyway, when I took him, he tested they tested his eyes, and he was like, his pressure's down in both eyes. One is 19 and one is 20. He said, I don't know how that happened. I just looked at him. I ain't say nothing. But I called Rebecca and I said, Rebecca, I have a miracle to share with you. So that's my miracle with our dog, who's 17. The pressures are definitely down in his eyes. So thought I'd share that. Aloe doesn't just work for us, it works for our animals too. So
let's give him a woof, woof.
yeah.
Again, the floor is open. Again, this Zoom session is for us so that we can share again how the juice and the topical has enhanced our lives, our health, etc. Because the more people hear about the healing, because again, we say that ABC&H is for anointed, body cleanser, and healer. And if people, what this does for them, they're going to tell friends, and friends are going to tell other friends, and so on and so forth. So this is why we sessions, we want to share this miracle juice that the Lord has provided us. And I tell you, you can't keep it all to yourself. You can't. You can't. Just share it. Share the good news.
So we got 21 people on here. I know I'm not the only one that had a testimony. Y'all don't be shy now. We need to hear y'all's testimony. That's what Miss Rebecca likes to hear. We all do. This is God's gift to all of us, so please share.
Am I unmuted? Can you hear me? Can
You're
anyone hear
unmuted.
me?
We can hear you. We
We
can
can hear you.
Okay. Oh my goodness, technology. I was listening. I agree with you. Unfortunately, my dog just passed. He was 19. And I'm going to say that I definitely agree with you as far as using it for humans and pets. I think anything that's sick should use Miss Rebecca's aloe, because my dog was really being challenged health-wise, and I just started adding it to his food. Miss Rebecca said, you can give it to him. I said, okay, how? She said, put it in his food. So I put in his food, and I'm telling you, really they wanted me to put him down, but I didn't, and he lived like a whole nother year and a half. I'm like, wow, I'm so glad I didn't make the wrong decision, and I was using the aloe. But even with myself, I started really, really using the aloe with regularity because I had a tumor, a brain tumor. Okay, started off little, found it by accident. It grew. It started growing, and the more it grew, the more sick I got. I had headaches. I was dizzy all the time, unbalanced, craziness. So I said, I better start drinking the aloe a little bit more. I drink it here and there, and blah, 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 because I'm pretty healthy. I started drinking it about 3 times a day, but I was drinking large doses. Like, instead of the 4 ounces 3 times a day, I was drinking like 8 ounces 3 times a day. As bad as it tastes, 8 ounces 3 times a day, and rubbing my head, my whole body down with the topical. So they took another MRI, and it seemed like it wasn't changing. It got big, and it wasn't changing. But I kept on going, hanging there with that faith. I'm trusting that this aloe, I didn't ask my neurologist to give me some time to heal myself naturally. Well, in about 18 months, by the October the 11th, I went back and I had to make a decision. Am I going to get surgery? I'm not going to get surgery. In my mind, I'm like, I ain't getting surgery. I don't care what they tell me. But the tumor was insignificant. We were both sitting there, and I'm waiting for him to say something. I'm looking at the 4 MRIs, and I'm like, well, what about that last one right there? What's that? What's that? He said, well, it says it's insignificant. I almost passed out. It was so good that I was sitting down because I'm telling you, I was like doing a jig. I was so happy. I was like, okay, no surgery. I don't know what happened to the tumor, but whatever the case may be, it was not there. And I was much more balanced because I think the doctors, when they tell you something is wrong, they kind of scare you. You're like, oh my God, I got to do whatever you say. I got to take the chemo. I got to do the radiation. I got to do all these things. And all these things are breaking down your immune system and making you more sick. So you can't even fight for yourself because your body's dying. Your cells are dying. And what I found out through my journey is if you want to live and you want to live a better quality of life health-wise, you should be drinking the aloe. You should just be drinking it. And if you have muscular inflammation with gout, things like that, just pain, you're uncomfortable or you're challenged in any way with your health, it doesn't matter what it is. Drink the aloe and see if you get better. It can't hurt you. It can only help you. So you got two choices. Drink it or not. I drink it, so that's my testimony, and I keep drinking it. And my sister recently came down with this thing, a heart cancer. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of it, but Black women get it at around the age of 65, 64, in their mid-60s. And it was a heart cancer, and it was killing her. It was killing her. And she started drinking the aloe. They had to do like 14-hour surgery on her. And she's been drinking the aloe. And she drinks it not the way I want her to, but she's getting it in. She's learning how to keep it down. And she has to do no chemo. We're talking about big grapefruit-sized heart tumor, heart cancer, like killing her. She doesn't have to do any chemo. She doesn't have to do any radiation. All she has to do is heal from the inside back to the outside. They did such extensive surgeries. But, in amazement, it's no cells there. There's no cancer cells to feed on the live, healthy cells. Somehow the aloe is, I don't know, it's reconstructing, restoring the natural flora to her system, so her cells are somehow getting stronger, and it's just no chemo, no radiation. Come on, have you heard that? Heart cancer. So I have a few testimonies, but I won't want to take over the thing. But I trust and believe that it works, and I think if you put yourself in the right mindset and trust and believe, have some faith, it's going to work. There are other things. God provided us with everything we need. When we start taking man-made chemicals, they're made by man, they're going to kill you. Take the aloe. He gave us that. The lady was saying something about a quote in the Bible about the aloe. I don't know that quote. I wish she had quoted it. But I truly believe that that's a healing juice. And it don't cost you nothing to take it. It's affordable, it's reasonable. She gives us a pickup area in the Pentagon City, which I'm so grateful for. I am grateful. I had to drive to Woodbridge. I'm so grateful, Miss Rebecca. Oh, you know. So there you go. That's my testimony. And all my patients, I tell them, when they come to see me, they get a shot of aloe, period. It's like for the road. Let me give you a shot. So I drink a whole bunch of aloe. A whole bunch of aloe. I have shot glasses and they're 4 ounces, and we just hit it. We toast, and then we hit it. And we toast to life and more abundantly and the quality. That's what we do. And we do that every single day, Tuesday through Saturday. The only time I drink aloe alone is on Sundays and Mondays. Yeah, this is me and God. But whatever the case may be, I'm saying, I'm an advocate. Get on board, drink it, can't hurt you. And even if you don't have health challenges, you want to be healthier, drink the aloe so you don't have health challenges. You know what I mean? Just make it part of your regimen.
All right. I'm telling you, this is what I'm talking about. This woman has stood up here and gave not one, but 2 powerful testimonies. And what I love about this woman, this lady here, she had no shame in her game. And she's letting us know that the aloe vera is not healing, it's bringing the body back to its natural state, which is a good thing. And not only that, she's telling me there's a song that's out there that I play and I love the lyrics. It's by Brent Jones, and it says, "Live your best life. It's good to be alive, but it's best to live." I love that song. I love those lyrics. And aloe vera is helping me not to only live my best life, but I'm going to live it until I'm gone. And aloe vera is helping me, accomplish that. And not only that, aloe vera make you look young too. It keeps your youth. When people ask me how old I am, and I tell them, and they say your skin is so radiant, what is causing that? I said, I drink my aloe vera juice every day. Every day. When I wake up in the morning, when I go to bed at night. I love it. I'm just like the lady that just spoke. I love my aloe vera juice. All right. Any more testimonies out there?
It's Kevin. Hello.
Hi, Kevin.
Hey. I always think about um, a trip to Jamaica some years ago, and a friend of mine said that the water was nasty. And he said, "No, the water not nasty. The water be salty." And that same thing like what people say about the aloe vera. They say it's nasty. No, the aloe vera not nasty. It's just bitter. And
All right.
for me, the aloe, I drink it too a lot. Every time I pass the refrigerator, if I think about it, I'll drink it always in the morning. But every time I pass the refrigerator, I drink about 6 ounces um, every day. um, I think during the high crisis of the corona, when people were catching it a lot, I had contracted it, and I was taking it, and I felt my immune system like jumpstart. It was an amazing thing. 'Cause I was down for a couple of days, and with no appetite, and I was still drinking my aloe, and then I just felt my immune system just kicking like. I say that's what I'm talking about, and I was back on my feet, and it was just amazing. I always thought about the power of the aloe vera for skin burns and stuff like that, but that's external. I never thought about taking the internal, the healing of it. I always knew it was the healing plant, but I didn't know the power of it until I got Miss Rebecca's product and started drinking it. But I always knew about it, putting it on burns and rashes and stuff like that, and but never taking the internal, and it's been amazing for me. And I'm celebrating my 64th birthday Sunday, and I feel good. I feel good. Thank you.
Wow. Another testimony from a male. It's good to have a male sit up there and speak on the power of the aloe vera juice. Kevin, I salute you on that. And I would say that B-Bomb, thank you for getting the answer. I was gonna wait, but found the answer, and she is correct. It is Numbers 24. Jot that down because I'm gonna steal Mrs. Rebecca Thunder that she says about Numbers 24:6, which talks about anything that God touches is powerful. And the way it was said to me, Miss Rebecca would say, man was what? Created by God. So God touched us. And then it says in that scripture, and planted the aloe plant, which makes that plant powerful. And one other thing I want to say is, you all see, or most of you all have seen the Black Panther. Did you know that that plant symbolized was the aloe vera plant? Just wanted to let you all know that. You know how powerful that was, even in that movie. But anyway, let me move on. Are there any more testimonies? All right. I'm gonna count to 3, and if not, we're gonna move on to the next part of our Zoom session.
I have a testimony. My name is Dr. Parker, and I send a lot of people to Miss Rebecca. And I have a patient that's 92, and they told her she had bladder cancer a couple of years ago. And 2 weeks ago, she came to my office and bought her post scans, and there's no more cancer in her bladder. We were very happy about that. So I see that often with the aloe vera. And she is beautiful. Yes, it's so beautiful. But I mean, I have a lot of testimonies for a lot of my patients that go. I've been sending, especially ones with cancer, and definitely getting positive results. But other things too, especially IBS, colon issues, joint pain, you name it, skin problems. But the 92-year-old, she's one of my favorite patients. She's been with me for 30 years, and she is a trooper, but she believes in that aloe. And the doctor was I know the doctor was upset, or he was like, I don't know how you got rid of that cancer, but it's coming back. I'm like, don't listen to him.
Dr. Parker, I appreciate, again, another powerful testimony with the fact that you're coming on and you are a doctor and you are sharing good news as opposed to saying, don't do it, that is not good for you, and that you're referring to Miss Rebecca. I want to say I appreciate and thank you so much.
But the real thanks goes to her for the aloe, because that stuff is a miracle. And I'm really grateful that she has this mission, because it's really helping a lot of people.
And you're right, but doctors know that and won't share that with their patients. And you are a vessel used through, God to tell the patient, Miss Rebecca, to let her know that this is a miracle. I mean, anything that's of the earth is powerful.
Of course.
Come on now. All right. Are there please before we move on?
I have a bit of one. This is Elaine. I'm only about 75 days using the juice and the topical at this point. I made a list in the beginning of little ailments of mine, nothing to shout about, no medications for, thankfully. I've been plant-based for 25 years now, and I just wanted to see if I could enhance some of these things that are related to what a doctor would call aging process, but I like to use youthing process. I'll flip everything. But since I began using it, I've noticed that I had difficulty turning left. My neck and shoulder, I had pain in my left neck and shoulder. That's gone away. Last year, I was taking a juice, a drink, a powder of sorts after I worked out for electrolytes. And it seems that it had a derivative of stevia in it. I can't use stevia as plant-based and natural as it is. I can't use any parts of it. So it caused a crazy breakout. It looked like mosquito bites in the beginning, but they turned really, really red, and then it itched really bad, and then it turned black. As I was foraging for pawpaws in the park, I was stung by a bee. So two of those little red things just grew into big black spots on my legs. So since then, when I found out, I had to diagnose my own case because it took so long trying to get to doctors to diagnose what was going on with me. I saw a rheumatologist, I saw a hematologist, I saw a dermatologist, I saw a primary care, and nobody came close to what was going on with me except my nutritionist, who thought I had parasites. But at any rate, I stopped using that powder and I didn't have any more breakouts. Since then, the blackness on my leg is now coming back to brown, the skin color, and no more breakouts. And the doctors never diagnosed anything. So I am now Dr. Elaine. And I used to also have a stiff right thigh. Something was going on in my right thigh. I could hardly move that. I'm not having any problem with that now. I was having leg and feet cramps, and that too has been eliminated since using the juice. I am very active. I get about 4 to 5 miles power walking every day. I have 3 classes for tightening and toning per week, and I also have at least 3 days of strength training here at the house. I will be, when you flip it around, I'll be 27 come February, but I am in great shape, and I'm trying to stay that way. I don't have any medications. I want to keep it that way, and I have to keep moving because I'm afraid to stop. And this aloe, I believe, is going to be the answer to all these other little things that I listed going on that don't require any medication, which is the best part of everything. So that's my testimony, and I'm feeling great. I just need to keep moving. That's my main goal.
All right, Dr. Elaine, thank you. All right, we're gonna go for one more. If there isn't another one, I like to move forward. So if there's one more, if not, we'll just go on and move forward because I like to hear our speaker. We hear from her. Is there another testimony? All right. So I'm going to introduce to some and present to others Miss Rebecca Brown, who is the CEO and founder of ABC&H Aloe Vera Juice. Tonight, she is going to talk about MS, which is multiple sclerosis, disease of the central nervous system affecting the brain, spinal cord, and the optic nerves. And without further delay, welcome, Miss Rebecca, and I'm turning it over to you, ma'am.
Hello, everyone. It's a pleasure.
Hello.
It's a pleasure to hear all the testimonies because what you don't understand, and it does my heart good to hear this, you are giving God the praise because you have to remember All of this come because of the goodness of the Lord. One thing you must remember, man can assist you, but he can't heal you. It is God.
Absolutely.
So it is good to hear you give God the praise because truly he's worthy. He's worthy of your praise. Just think about if you hadn't gotten up this morning. There are some people that didn't get up this morning, but you were so blessed because you took care of yourself. God has given you another opportunity. It's a pleasure to hear this. I'm very grateful. And as I hear the testimonies, when you spoke about the teeth, I'm in a situation, there's a funeral for my family tomorrow. I won't be in attendance, but it's my aunt that I'm her namesake. I'm named after her. She's 93 years old, and I just found this out Monday. She died Monday, but from what I was told, because I didn't know the situation, she was supposed to have gotten her teeth pulled and extracted several years ago, but she refused to wear dentures. She wanted implants. So she wouldn't do anything. And it got to the point her teeth were so bad that she couldn't eat, she couldn't chew. So what eventually happened was at 93, she started losing weight because she couldn't eat her food. And then she became so weak, they couldn't give her the anesthesia to extract the teeth. So she ended up losing 25 pounds in 2 weeks, and she starved to death. She literally starved to death. So we have to stop and think. If you take care of your body, it will take care of you. But if you neglect it, it will default on you. It's no other way to say it. I can only be as clear as I can about this. You must take care of yourself, because if you do not, the day will come where your body will no longer be able to help you. And it's because of negligence. So please take care of yourself. And on Dr. Parker and Dr. Washington, thank you very much for sharing your testimonies. And yes, a lot of your patients I'm in contact with, and we work closer together because the body is willing to be healed. It just needs help. And if you put forth the help, I guarantee you it will work. Not might. Nothing God does might. It always works. I'm a living witness. And I tell people that all the time. I am a living witness. I am his testimony. And that's why I can stand and tell you that I know that God healed me when the doctors walked away and left me for death. But God took care of me. And the scripture please read it because it's so meaningful. It's Numbers, the book of Numbers, it's chapter 24, and it's verse 6. And I'm sure all of you have read this, but never really stopped and realized the power in that verse. Anytime you read that God himself, with all the power that he has, took his time and touched something with his hands to plant it, it has power because God is all powerful. He doesn't have to ask for anything. He doesn't have to plead for anything. He can speak and things come into existence. So just remember, when he touched something, he released the power of healing in it. And that's why aloe vera is so effective. It's a miracle. And only God has miracles. Man can assist you, but he can't heal you. Healing comes through God. It's a miracle. And that's why aloe vera is so effective and so powerful. And if I want you to take this scenario and try to comprehend what I'm saying, if you drink 8 ounces of water per day, all it does is quench your thirst. Go back and think about this. If you drink 8 ounces of aloe vera per day, it is going to take care of your body internally and externally by flushing it, restoring it, repairing it, and rejuvenating it to its natural state of health. No one else can do that for you. Nothing else can do that for you. Because God himself gave that plant instructions. And it's following the instructions to the T. It leaves no stone unturned. It is not like us. We won't follow instructions that God gives us. And that's why our health is at stake. Everything that we are not supposed to do, we do it. Everything that we should do, we won't do it. But this plant, when God planted it and gave it instructions to heal whatever it touched, that's exactly what you are experiencing. You're experiencing the word of God. And you know that God himself is the word. So it's God in a bottle that you're consuming. Just think about the power that's behind that. I don't care what disease, what sickness it come up against. It takes it on and destroy it in the midst of the fight. That's the power of God. So we are dealing with God himself. And that's what you want. Because when I hear these people and their sicknesses, and I go back to when I was sick, and when I almost died, when I was paralyzed, when I was in a coma, when I was an addict because of Demerol being in my system every 3 hours for 3 months. I was an addict. So I understand when I hear the sickness, when I hear the problems, it goes through me, in me, because I understand what you're suffering. But I will tell you this, there is nothing on earth that heaven can't heal. There's no sickness. I don't care what it is. I don't care what the doctor says. I will tell you this, if it's on earth, heaven already got it healed. Okay? And the beauty of this is that you are taking the time to take care of yourselves. You have to be responsible for yourself. This is your body who fights every day to keep you alive. And you put very low interest or investments into it. Because you have to remember, the body was designed to heal itself. All we have to do is keep it cleansed. You can't heal the body It will cleanse itself if you drink the aloe vera. That's why aloe vera is so effective. Think about it this way: disease, sickness, bacteria love what we love, sweets and junk. And anything that you feed, you can't get rid of it. It's going to keep coming back to get fed. But if you turn that same scenario around and you look at cleanliness, you will never find bacteria, sickness, or disease living in a cleansed environment because it has nothing to feed on. And you have to remember, sickness is alive. It's bacteria, it's viruses. Disease is the same thing. It's alive. It's a virus. It's a bacteria. And it wants to live. It doesn't want to die. So it's not going to stay in an environment that's clean. So it's going to leave your body and go to another body that it can feed on. That's the scenario about how effective aloe vera is. It produces cleanliness. Bitterness produces cleanliness. Nothing can live in a bitter environment. And that's why when people say to me, it's too bitter, I can't drink it. And so I said, okay, you have two choices, life or death. If you want to live, you'll drink it. But if you don't want to live, don't drink it. That's the best I can offer, because bitterness will preserve your life. It's going to flush out everything that's trying to kill you. And most people must understand, anything that's going to harm you, it will get into your lifeline, which is your blood. It will, not might, it will. I did cancer research for 8 years. And what amazes me about this is, and I'm not sure how to explain it, but for people who don't truly understand what cancer is, and the doctors don't seem to clearly explain what it is, the scenario behind cancer is simply this. Everyone has cells, and that's why animals and all of that can benefit from aloe. It's simply the fact that every cell multiplies and divides. And when it does these things, it performs a function. After that function, those cells are supposed to die because the body is generating new cells all the time. But the cell refused to die. It will not divide, but it multiplies into a tumor. And that's what cancer is. So when you hear people say, I can cut it out, I can burn it out, that's not true. That's not, you would have to burn up the whole body. You'd have to cut up the whole body. And the more you expose it to air, the more vigorous it becomes. And for those people who've had cancer go into remission, what that simply means is this: they've given you a drug, more than likely it's chemo, which is poison, and their goal is to actually attack the cancer cells and destroy it. But it does not just attack your cancer cells, it attacks all of your cells. That's why it breaks the body down. And so the person becomes more critically ill. And you have to understand, cancer is a smart disease. It is nothing to take lightly. If you're in a battle, you have two choices. Either it will get you or you will get it. And so what the goal is when they give you chemo and radiation is to try to burn it out. Well, they are making an attempt for a short period of time. But know this, cancer, when it comes out of remission, it is so aggressive. And if you can't find something to stop it, it's going to take you out. It's smart. And it infects the rest of your cells. So it breaks down the whole body. So the scenario of what the doctors are trying to do when they use chemo, aloe comes in, and the way God designed it, cancer survives off of blood. So the aloe shuts off all of the blood supply to the cancer cells. And once it shuts off the blood supply, the cancer can't survive. The only way it survives if you feed it. And if you eat sugar, if you eat dairy, or if you eat red meat, which sits in your system for 3 to 7 days and it decays before it digests. That's how cancer survives. Aloe will shut off all blood supply, and when it shuts off the blood supply and the cancer dies, what it does is it removes the cancer from your system. It doesn't put it in remission, it removes it from your system. Once it removes it from your system, understand that the body now is out of balance. And the goal is to keep the body in balance. God perfected it so that the aloe will go back and it will generate stem cells, which is nothing but a baby cell, to replace the cancer cells. And every cell that was infected by this cancer cell is now restored to its normal status. That's really what happens with cancer, with chemo, with radiation, and how the aloe is the real source behind flushing all of that out and giving you back your health. In addition to that, a lot of people are sick because they don't drink enough water. Your body is 75% water, and you always losing water. But if you never replace it, the body shuts down. It needs your help. Drink water. I've heard people say, I don't like water. How is that possible? But I understand why. The water that we have in our society is so unhealthy. And I've asked several times to get rid of that so you'll be able to drink water. Get yourself a stainless steel pot. Take that pot, fill it up with the water from your faucet. Put it on your stove. Put it on a low boil for an hour and a half. Do not cover it, because the steam that you see leaving that pot is bacteria. There are two ways to actually purify water. That is to boil it or freeze it. And the reason for that is the temperature is so hot, the bacteria can't live. When you freeze it, it's so cold, the bacteria can't live. And I see people going to these stores, buying these cases of water. That's someone else's faucet water. If you think back years ago, when there was a newborn baby in the house, they always boiled the water. That's the reason. Because this is a new baby with a system that needs to be kept cleansed. So they boil the water. And that's all you have to do. And I guarantee you, if you try it, you'll never go back to buying water. It tastes different. The body yearns for it. It's clear. You can see right through it. So these are some of the small things that you can do that will help you, that will keep you healthy. I plead with you, take good care of yourself. Because I will say this, if you take care of the body, it is guaranteed to take care of you. And that's a fact. And when I heard Donna talk about her dog, Coco, I have dogs myself. I have two sons. When my sons were younger, and I needed, when I would be inside and I needed someone outside to watch them, I owned Dobermans. They will watch your children. So when they got sick with a skin disease, I went to the vet and she told me she could probably give me a cream for about $1,500, but there was no guarantee. So I said, okay, no problem. I'll take care of this. I brought the dogs back. I put the topical on them. I put it in their water. In 2 weeks, the skin disease was gone. Understand how aloe vera works. If you have cells, it gets into the cell. And anything and everything that is going to cause that cell harm, aloe vera will extract it. When it extracts it, it flushes it out of the system. Aloe vera detoxes your blood. It detoxes all of your organs. It detoxes your cells and your tissues and the hollow inside of the body. It doesn't leave any part of your body uncleansed. It doesn't. So what we're looking at, God has taken care of every need that we have. But think about it this way. He gave you free will. You can choose to use it or not. If you use it, you're going to be healthy. It's just that simple. If you don't, you won't. You'll suffer sickness. It is a cleanser. It prevents you from getting sick just like it heals your sicknesses. It is so, so important. And I wanted to talk to you, but we're out of time tonight about MS. I am amazed by the number of people. Right now, it's about 20 that I'm working with MS. And I want you to understand something. MS is a problem, but it's a problem that can be solved. And a couple of things that I will share with you quickly. We'll probably pick this up on the next session. MS is an autoimmune disease that affects your nervous system, and it attacks the brain and the spinal cord. And one of the main reasons why people get MS, low deficiency in vitamin D. And here's what I want you to think about. And I'll go into more details on our next session. If you think back when people spent a lot of time outside in the sun, MS was not as prevalent. Now, because everyone is inside, closed up, you don't get the rich source of vitamin D from the sun. You might take vitamin D pills, but it's not the same as spending time in the sun. A person with MS should spend at least an hour in the sun. At least. What happens? Your vitamin D is so low, the immune system can't bring it back to its normal status without your help. And that's because of the lack of sun. And when you don't drink enough water, but you're busy drinking alcohol and smoking, contributes to MS. Because of the fact that you have all of these body functions that vitamin D controls, they cannot perform their function because your vitamin D is so low. And so that's when you turn to autoimmune deficiencies, because the immune system is trying to fight, but it doesn't have the help. And it's very detailed, and we don't have the time to go through it completely, but for anyone, and like I said, I'm dealing with several people with it, and we're working very closely, and Aloe is fighting it. And I will share this with Dr. Parker and the group. Malik, I think his name is, that you sent and asked me to work with him. When Malik and I were talking, when he first called me and he was explaining to me his condition, and he and I and his wife met, prior to that, let's go back to something you did for him. He said he was confined to a wheelchair. And this all started with an accident that he had in 20. And when the doctor took x-rays, they saw the lesions on his brain. And they asked him, "Do you have MS?" And he said no. And the doctor says, "Well, you're going to get it. I see the lesions." And this was in 20. Well, 22, it came down on him. So he was confined to the wheelchair. And when you work with him, you gave him a quart of the aloe vera juice. One day, he drank 16 ounces. The next day, he drank the other 16 ounces. The following day, he was able to get up out of his wheelchair. And so he called me And he and I talked, so I prepared it so that it would be strong enough and effective enough going into his system that it would destroy these lesions. And so I explained to he and his wife what to do, how to take it. But when he came for it, he said, I normally wouldn't get out this truck, but I want to get out to show you something. And I said, okay. He got out and he was able to stand on his feet, leaning against the truck. Prior to that, he said couldn't do it. He was confined to this wheelchair. And so I said to him, okay, here's what I want you to do. I want you to continue taking it, but instead of 16 ounces, take it to 20 ounces, because that is more than effective enough to kill the lesions which was causing the MS. And they met me about, I guess, 2 weeks ago. And he was telling me that his improvements are tremendous. And he's seeing his life now go back to where it was. A lot of the body issues that he has, and a lot of the body functions, because this thing bothers your bowels, it bothers your intestines. All of that he's now gaining control of. So he is ever so grateful. There's a nurse that has MS, and she was on a scooter for 2 years. She didn't want to be on the scooter, but she didn't have a choice. She took the aloe vera for 2 weeks and was able to get off the scooter. These are things that can happen, but you've got to be consistent in taking it and be diligent about fighting the abnorms and looking for the normal processes of life. So I wanted to share that with you, Dr. Parker, because he told me that he was going to call you. I don't know whether he did or not, but he's making tremendous progress. And I'm so grateful and thankful for you helping him, because he's a young man. And he told me he has a young son. And his young son is going to need him, and he want to be there for his young son. So I thank you for helping him.
I thank you for helping him too.
Because when I look at him, and he's so innocent and so full of life, to see his life taken away from him, and he was just so grateful, that it just makes your heart just flutter. And I call him, check on him, he calls me, because I want to make sure he's on the right track. So I had to share that with you. And there is a whole session that it'll probably be the next session that we will do on MS, because MS can be beaten. You just have to understand what it is and how to destroy it. And the basic concept is because the lack of vitamin D. That's it. And people not drinking enough water. When you don't drink enough water, every part of your body that uses water suffer. I've known people that have heart attacks for not drinking enough water. But I don't know how to say it any more than you have to drink water, period. There's no other way to put it. So these are some of the things that, we have to We have to do. Because I'm looking at what happened to my father's only living sister. Wouldn't get her teeth pulled. And she waited until she wasn't healthy enough to get her teeth pulled. I was told 2 weeks. This woman ate nothing. She drank nothing. So she starved to death at 93 years old. So if we can avoid these things from happening to us, please do so. Because I tell you, if you take care of your body will take care of you. Okay? There's so much more we can talk about, but it's after the time. So hopefully some of this information can register with you, help you, and guide you to a better life. Because God wants us to have life abundantly, and that entails good health. You can't have life abundantly if you're sick. And you have to remember, sickness is not of God. And I will ask you the same question I've asked a couple of people when we would have conversations, and we'd be talking about different people and how sick they are. And they can't take the medicine, and the doctor says this, and the doctor says that. Okay, all right. Well, let me ask you this. God said he wants us to have life abundantly. And if the doctor tells you you can't do this and you can't do that, but yet one day the doctor's going to get sick, have you ever heard or read anywhere where God was sick? And if God has never been sick, wouldn't you take his advice? If you go back to the Bible and read it, most of the people that died in the Bible died of old age. It wasn't sickness. It was old age. And that's why you have to know who you're following and why. So hopefully some of that information helped you all. If you have any questions and we need to have further discussions, feel free, because I would rather do that than to see people suffering and going through sickness and just don't know what else to do. So again, it was indeed a pleasure to share my experiences, my suffering, my pain with all of you that God brought me out of. And just like he brought me out of it, he will do the same for you. So thank you for your time and your attention.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Rebecca.
Mhm.
Are there any questions? We did go over our time, 20
We
minutes.
have
but
one question. We have one question in the chat, and the question is, where's the location tomorrow?
At
And
Pentagon City, Pentagon Row. From 1 to 3.
Angel has her hand up.
Yes. Yes, Angel.
Angel, if you could unmute yourself.
Hi, Miss Rebecca. I love you.
Hi, Angel. I love you back.
Oh my God, Miss Rebecca.
Yes.
This was amazing.
You enjoyed
I
it?
am so, oh my God, I heard part of your story. Oh my God. I did not know. God is so good. Oh, thank you so much for telling all of it. Oh my God. And Dr. Washington, phew, Lord, have mercy, Jesus. Okay, so this needs to be done on a massive scale.
This
I
one?
know young people who have illnesses
Uh-huh.
and they don't know about you. They don't know your story.
Uh-huh.
So I want to probably throw an event somewhere. And if you please, and I'm gonna try to talk to my pastor and see if you come as Zion Baptist Church and come and speak. They're a little funny about holistic stuff, but my pastor's wife survived cancer, so they might be a little bit more open to it. So I'm gonna try to do that. If not there, it's gonna be somewhere. But also, I know you have the Pentagon spot. I mean, is it possible the me and you can talk? Because we did talk briefly of making it more accessible, and having another pickup spot, saying DC, if you need me to man a spot for at least twice a month inside of DC, I'll do that. Dr.
Well,
Walker, wherever you need, so that way, elderly people will be, more accessible to getting the aloe vera.
yeah, it's interesting that you say that because I don't know if you ever heard of Ruiz Fitness, no, RULZ. Um, I've been working with her and her group every first Sunday. As a matter of fact, December 1st. It's in Upper Marlboro, Maryland, and I'm usually there with them from 10 in the mornings until about 2. Um, and what they do is they do all kinds of physical, mental, and spiritual exercises. And, I go over how aloe vera helps them and
Mhm.
what it means to take it. Because a lot of people, they have these physical strenuous exercise routines, but the body is not equipped for that kind of stress. And so you create problems because the body is not healthy enough for that kind of physical activity. And so we go through things like that. So you and I can talk, and anything I can do to help people, because as I said, one day when I woke up and couldn't walk and couldn't talk and was so close to death, it just took me to another stage in life. And because God brought me through that, I made a commitment, anything and everything that I can do to help someone else. That is my goal and it's my objective at all costs. It's just something I have to commit to, because when you make a commitment to God, you don't renege on that. So we can talk and see how many people we can reach. And the other thing, while I'm talking about this, and this it happens to men also, but it happens to women a lot. And this could go for a lot of young women. There is the HPV virus. Nobody knows what causes it, and nobody knows how to treat it. And it enters your body through any open wound, like if you have a cut or something, or it can get into your system. And that's why drinking the aloe vera will prevent it. It makes its way to your reproductive organs in the cervical area. That's why a lot of people have cervical cancer. And the doctors can't treat it because there is no treatment for it. So these are the kind of things that we can probably put together something to help young people, because they are totally clueless as to how much danger is surrounding you. You can't stop yourself from being in society, but you can protect yourself from the inside. by using the aloe vera. Okay? Does that help you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I will give you a call. Thank you so much. God bless everyone on this call.
You're welcome.
So we have a hand up, Miss Carol.
Hi. Good evening, everyone. I do reflexology, so I'll try to focus on one area this particular talk, and it's about the brain. So aneurysms, strokes, and brain bleeds. How can aloe help that?
Easily.
Okay.
Okay. Understand when a person have a stroke, there's two reasons that you will have a stroke. Okay. And those reasons are you have a clogged blood vessel, or you have a twisted blood vessel. And what happens is the blood is flowing, but when it gets to the clog or the twist vessel, it can't get through. And by nature, it's going to force its way through. And so what it does, it keeps forcing its way through, and the temperature keeps rising. And that's how you have a stroke. What you do in a case like that, if you're taking aloe vera, it's going to clear the passage. It's going to remove the cloggedness. It's going to make the vessels or the arteries untwist so the blood can go through. And a person that has a stroke or aneurysms, if you don't deal with the initial part, you will always have another stroke. And usually that stroke will be the most drastic one. But again, aloe vera is a preventative. If you keep drinking it, it's going to clear those passages so you won't have this problem.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Are there any more questions as we move closer to adjournment and closing out the session? All right. So I'm just going to have a couple of closing remarks. I just want as a reminder to let you all that the next session will be on January the 10th, 2025, same time and same place. Again, we appreciate your time and participation in tonight's session. As I said earlier, I hope that tonight was engaging and impactful. I ask that you all enjoy the upcoming holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's Day. I ask that you all be safe, be well, and be blessed. Ms. Rebecca, do you have any final words?
Yeah, the only thing I ask is that when you purchase the aloe vera, I will have a lot of people ask me, but how long does it last? And my question to them is, if you drink it, does it matter? If you purchase it, why would you put it in the refrigerator and leave it? The refrigerator doesn't get sick. And if you're not going to drink it, why are you purchasing it? So I said all of that to say this. Anything that's going to help you, don't store it away. Use it. That's the whole purpose of it. So I plead with all of you to have life abundantly. Drink it every day, twice a day. And I can assure you, your body will appreciate you, love you, and thank you for helping it out, because it's doing everything to help you.
Right.
And I pray that all of you have a blessed holiday, a safe holiday, and a thankful holiday.
Miss Rebecca, one other question. I know I brought it up earlier, and we wanted just to get clarification on this question about aloe vera. Can aloe vera be frozen? Can you just
I
quick?
heard that.
I meant to bring that one up. I do apologize.
No,
Sorry you all delay the closure, but we need to get that one adjournment. We need to get that one answered, and then we adjourn. I'm going
I
to say
heard
good night.
I heard the question, I heard the answer. And let me just say this to you. Aloe vera should not be heated or frozen. And here is why. You are breaking the effectiveness of it. And when you get ready to travel, Alice, all you have to do is pack it in your suitcase. It will last long enough for you to get where you're going. And then you can refrigerate it again.
Well, I didn't want to take any chances. I was
Okay.
going to Hawaii. It was taking me, my luggage was lost, and I was so happy that it was frozen. So I didn't get my luggage for 24 hours.
Oh, really?
And when I got my luggage, it was still good. So I'm glad I froze it.
Okay. Thank you. I just want to make sure I'm fair to everybody because I see Miss Sheila Celestine. Are you still out there, ma'am?
Yes, I'm sorry. I came in a little bit late, but I'm enjoying everything that I'm hearing. I just have a quick question, and I see that you all have been on for way over the time, and sorry about that. But I have a question about apple cider vinegar, and wondering if that regimen disrupts the aloe vera.
Well, let me say this to you. And I want you to listen to me carefully. When you put anything into your body, do you look at the contents of what's included in it, the ingredients?
Yes.
Okay. Anything that is natural, the aloe vera work with it. Anything that's not, that have the slightest chemical in it, aloe vera flushes it out completely. And the reason is because your body is made up of chemicals. And when you add other chemicals to it, it causes what they call, and you've probably heard this term, free radicals. And what all a free radical is when you have combined two chemicals, it will create an unknown chemical. And you don't know what the effects that it has on your body. So aloe vera doesn't allow it to stay. It removes it so that it won't cause harm to the body. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for that.
Sure, sure. So that's why when you're taking things, and I tell people this all the time, supplements, be very careful because you don't know. A lot of times when you're taking supplements, the body don't really need that many. But you don't know it, so you keep taking it, the body keep throwing it off. When you take aloe vera, it flushes all of that out, so your supplements aren't performing the way that you're thinking. So you're oversaturating the body and you're making the body work harder than it should. And anytime you make the body work harder than it should, you increase your aging process. Because anything you work overdo, it eventually will wear out. Okay?
Yes. I'm glad I asked that question. Thank you.
You're quite welcome.
All right, you all. It is now 9:36. We went over 36 minutes, but it was all well worth it. So again, you all just have a very safe and enjoyable holiday, and we'll see you all next year. Be blessed. And
Yeah,
good night.
everybody, good night and have a
Good
great
night.
Thank
Good
you,
night.
guys.
Good
Happy
night.
holidays.
Thank
Happy
you.
holidays.
Thank you
Okay.
so much. Bye bye.
Thank you
Bye-bye.
all.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
God bless
Thank
you.
you. Thank you, Miss Rebecca.
God
You're
bless and
quite
thank you, Miss
welcome.
Rebecca.
You're
Love
welcome.
you all. God bless. Enjoy your holiday.
God bless you.
Thanks, you too.
Good night, Miss Rebecca. Good night, everybody.
Where you going? Don't even try, Barbara.
Did she leave?
No,
Still.
she's trying to be funny.
That ain't funny.
We still have a couple of people leaving.